I am a gigantic Trekkie. Please try to hold your shock. I love all the series. I like most of the movies. But for me, my favorite is Star Trek: The Next Generation. And as far as I'm concerned, Star Trek: The Next Generation begins and ends with Captain Jean-Luc Picard and Patrick Stewart. From the very first episodes of that series, he was my guy. So much so that I actually joined his fan club, the International Audience Alliance for Patrick Stewart. And as a male, and a straight one, I was in the distinct minority in this club. In fact, I think I was their token. In September of '89, Next Generation was about to air their third season. And so to promote this, Patrick Stewart went on the Arsenio Hall show. And when he came out, he was wearing this really cool outfit, very relaxed, very LA. Jeans, a blazer, and a t-shirt. And it was the t-shirt that caught my eye. It was just a plain white t-shirt with a portrait of Shakespeare on it, on top of a blooming rose, and the words "Save the Rose" underneath. I found out later this had to do with a charity thing, trying to save the Rose Theater, where a lot of Shakespeare's early plays had first been produced. And there was just something about this shirt. I don't know if it was the particular portrait or the design, or the fact that Patrick was wearing it. I decided then and there that I wanted that shirt. Not a copy, not one like it. I wanted the shirt off Patrick Stewart's back. It was crazy and impossible, but I promised myself if I ever had the chance, I was going to get that shirt. A few months later, I hear that the fan club is doing a special event, a weekend with Patrick Stewart exclusively for fan club members in Baltimore. Well, I sign up right away. And a few weeks later, the registration packet arrives. And I'm thumbing through it, and I come across the events schedule. And at the very bottom, one of the last things they're going to do is an auction of memorabilia from Patrick's personal collection of movie, TV, and theater items. Now, there's no list of the particular things that are going to be on it, but I know in my heart my t-shirt is going to be on the block, because this is fate. I went to the convention with my girlfriend, Louisa, and when we got there, we met up with a couple of her friends, Celia and Dee Dee. This is when I really came to understand the nature of the club. Louisa and I were young college students. Celia and Dee Dee were in their late 20s, early 30s, and clearly professional women with some money to burn. So we hung out with them for a bit, and then I excused myself to try and track down the list of auction names. And it took a little cajoling, but finally I got one of the volunteers to slip it to me. And I'm scanning, and there it is. Save the Rose t-shirt, as worn by Patrick on the Arsenio Hall show. And I'm elated. Except I'm very suddenly realizing I'm surrounded by a bunch of professional single women with money to burn. And I'm a poor college student. Also, I've been to auctions at science fiction conventions a few times before, and I've seen how crazy the bidding can get. People bidding stupid money on these one-of-kind items. So I look at my checkbook and I do some quick calculations. And I decide I'm going to set a limit for myself. The absolute highest amount I can possibly bid is $200. That seems like a lot of money for a t-shirt. I don't care who wore it. So I'm still feeling okay. I think this is going to work out. The weekend, the event of this weekend is fantastic. There are panels and discussions and trivia games. Patrick Stewart does a one-man show. He comes to brunch with us on Sunday and sits at each table, talks to everybody. I made sure that the empty chair was next to me at my table. Immediately after brunch is the auction, and we filed into the auction room. I was one of the last people to get in, so most of the good seats were taken. But Luis's friends, Celia and Dee Dee, had snagged front row seats, and they motioned me over, had me sit in front of them on the floor. And so that's where I was with a better than front row seat when Patrick came in to MC the auction himself. The first couple of items go up. I think one of them was his personal traveling copy of the complete works of Shakespeare. He had a piece of a costume that he'd stolen from the costume department. These two items went for over $1,000 each. And now I'm just praying that the shirt comes later in the auction when people have spent most of their money and I'll have a better shot. The shirt's the next thing up. So, bidding begins at $25. Somebody throws up 25. I threw up 30. There's a flurry of bids, maybe half a dozen of us going for this thing. We hit 200 in under a minute. I scrap my budget and go big. 250. Patrick looks down at me and says, well, this is getting interesting. If it goes to 300, I'll sign the shirt as well. We rocket past 300. And before I know it, we've hit 4. Twice my budget. And I have a moment of clarity. And I put my bidding card down, and I just know there's no way this is going to happen. I feel a tap on my left shoulder. It's Celia. She's holding out $80. Keep bidding. I'm enjoying this. She presses the money into my hand and I get back in the game. We're going up. Suddenly, we are quickly approaching $500. It's down to me and 2 other people. I go $495, 500 gets bid. And I go and I turn to give Celia her money back. I feel a tap on my right shoulder. It's Dee Dee, holding out $40. Keep bidding. I'm enjoying this. At this point, I decide I am going for broke. I don't care if I have to beg, borrow, or steal. I will find the money. I am bidding and I am winning. I put up $550, and now it is down to just me and one other person. This is simply the opponent. I don't know who it was, what the person looked like. For all I know, it was my girlfriend. I throw up 600. 605. 615. 625. 635. Well, 635 going once, 635 going twice, sold for $635. Louisa screams from somewhere in the room. Celia and Dee Dee are patting me on the back. Patrick reaches down, shakes my hand, and says, thank you. It's been 26 years since that day, almost to the day. I still have the shirt. I still put it on from time to time. It doesn't fit as well as it used to. I think it shrank in the wash. One of the last times that I wore it was 4 years ago. I went to a convention in Philadelphia. Now this was one of these huge conventions with thousands upon thousands of attendees and dozens of celebrities, including, at this particular one, all 5 captains of the Star Trek TV shows. Not only do they do that, they've added something in the last quarter century. They now do photo ops, where you lay out a not insignificant amount of money to have your picture taken with your favorite stars. So I decided that I would get a photo op with Patrick Stewart, now Sir Patrick Stewart, and I knew what I had to wear. The way these things work, you stand in a very long line. When it's your turn, you walk into a small room. The actor is sitting or standing on a mark. Photographer's there. You walk in. You have a brief moment to say hello. You turn, you take the picture, you're escorted out. You're in there for maybe 20, 25 seconds. So I stand in my long line. I finally get up to the front. Chest out so he sees the shirt. Walk in, say something like, hey, hello, Sir Patrick. He smiles and greeting. No recognition. We take the picture. They're waving me out of the room, but before I can get out of earshot, I hear, "By the way, I love your shirt." "Well, you did sell it to me." "What?" 22 years ago. And I was escorted out. It's not often that you get to shock a starship captain and a knight of the British Empire. I did it in one fell swoop. And if that's the most memorable thing that I do in my life, I'm content to have that on my tombstone. Thank you.